Okay, so now I'm going to show you Pinpoint. I'm doing hoopless embroidery on this piece, and it's been held down now with my basting box, and I'm very close, but I'm not perfect on my alignment. So I'm going to go from color 1. I make sure I'm starting at color 1 because then my needle is in the right position. I'm going to go to my editing pencil. I'm going to go to the big I for information, which holds all, oops, there we go, which holds all of my tools. And then I'm going to go to Pinpoint, which is second one down on the right. Now, if this is not activated, if the rectangle butterfly is not activated, you're going to see a circle with a crosshair on your screen. I want to zoom in all the way on that, all the way. And then I can see from here that that circle with the crosshair, which indicates where my needle is, which is in first stitch position, because that's where I left it. I need to now mark that on the screen. This is where my first stitch is. I'm going to activate the butterfly by touching it, and when I touch it, this disappears. So that's why I'm zoomed in all the way so I can really see what I'm doing. Activate the butterfly, the marker goes away, but I know where it is, so I'm going to touch the corner. Now, this is an interesting little tidbit. I'm not actually going to try and touch the corner, because if I did, maybe I get the corner, maybe I don't. Maybe I went over too far this way or this way. I'm going to go at a 45-degree angle from the corner up here in the white, and it goes to the closest piece of embroidery, which will be a corner. So I always like to, when I do a corner, I always like to go at a 45-degree angle and let the marker, it just like sucks right to that corner. Okay, so now let's just look at my needle. My needle is not in the right spot. So now I'm going to move my needle. Remember, we did the marker first, so it's like 4 steps. Touch the screen to set a marker. Move the needle to coordinate with it, then hit set. And then you repeat. So you're going to touch the screen to set a marker. I did it. Now move your needle where you'd like the needle to be. And I'm going to bring mine down just a tinge. I think I want my needle to be right there. And I'm going to zoom out so you can see my needle is right here. Now, before I actually set this one, and this is kind of advanced pinpoint placement, but I want you to look at my screen. My walking stitch, the stitch I'm trying to line up goes straight down here, and then it makes like a 90-degree turn around this eagle's head. You can see the bend here. Whoops, there you can see it. And you can see the bend over here. The most important part of Pinpoint is to get you want to get the most crucial marks in. The most crucial mark on this line that I'm doing is this 90-degree turn. So I'm actually going to touch at that 90 degree and zoom in. And I'm going to touch it, go in really close, because that's not it. It's right here. I want to be right at that 90-degree mark. Now, I'm going to move over because I can see the red mark is right. It's right there. Okay. See how easy that is? Okay, come on. You had too much Coke. There we go. So I put that right there. Now, I'm going to drop my needle. And if you zoom in or really look close right here, I'm extremely close, but I really need to go over to the right a little bit. So I'm going to make sure my needle is up high. I'm going to use my zigzag knob, and I'm going to move this slightly, ever so slightly to the right. And that is dead on that corner. And this is dead on the corner. And that's the most important mark. Now I'm going to set it. And it turns yellow. Now I'm going to zoom out so you can see what this looks like here for a second. So here's my mark. It's at the 90 degree. It's at the, now I'm going to go up and touch, I'm just going to get my needle up. I'm going to go up and check out the top now. Now I can see my top. If you look over here, my top is slightly to the right. So I'm going to now use my zigzag and bring it slightly to the left. Just a tinge more. Just a teeny bit. I think that might be it. I'm going to zoom in again. So what I'm trying to do is really nail this straight line, especially down here at the bottom where it makes a 90-degree turn. Now I'm going to touch in between the two and drop my needle. And you can see my needle, because I set the first one down here, and the second one's great. Right here it's fitting perfect. So I'm going to touch in between the two markers, and I'm going to walk it down. Looks just great. It's hitting that every single solid time. And that's what I'm trying to get it to do. Now I'm going to walk the head. Let me move this out of the way so you can see. But look how fabulous this looks. So because I got this mark first, which is the 90-degree angle, I nailed this curve perfectly. So this one is really, I already know it's lined up perfect just by getting the 90-degree and one other mark on it. So I'm all good to go on that. Lining it up perfect every time, that's going to be great. I can just set it. Now when I set it, I'm going to touch the word set. Both of those markers disappear because on Pinpoint placement, if you have the newest update, both of the markers disappear. And this is what that means. It means the machine is going to hold this spot right where you put it. It's going to hold it right there. But if you had wished you'd moved it up or down or more left, more right, you can reset your markers by touching a new one. It keeps the old setting and it allows you to apply the new setting to it, which would allow you just to move it up or down or wherever you need to.
Hands.
Oh, hands. Get my hands out of the way. Sorry. I'm just saying. It looks pretty. It's lined up perfect. This is exactly, I mean, this is perfect right to the needle, which is why Pinpoint placement is so unbelievably fabulous. I'm all done. I'm going to touch the eye for information to release my screen. I'm going to go back to embroidery, so I'm going to go touch my needle to go back to first stitch. I walked my line in Pinpoint. I know it's great. I'm going to go to color number 2. I don't have to float stabilizer because stabilizer is already on this because I floated this piece. Instead of using my grid, I floated on this particular one. And I'm ready to put on red thread and start embroidering. You'll love Pinpoint. Get to know it. It's your best friend.